In today's video, I'll be going over the entire history of LEGO catalogs. So let's do this. Recently, my good friend Israel gave me some catalogs from the 1960s and 70s. That's about how old your grandpa is.
Emotional damage.
Now, LEGO has been around since the 1930s, but back then they just sold old wooden toys like this duck. But they didn't start producing LEGO catalogs till 1966. So here we go. Now the first thing I realized when looking at these catalogs is that the stinking staple was rusted. Jeez, that just shows how much it's aged. Also, I guess back then they had kids much more involved with the advertising of the product, because on almost every single page there was a kid, which isn't a bad thing, I guess, unless you're Anakin.
Skywalker, there are too many of them. What are we going to do?
But yeah, it was cool to look back at these catalogs. But I didn't just have old catalogs, but also some old instruction manuals. Now these look quite different from the ones nowadays. They didn't even have a thing in the corner showing what pieces you needed. Instead, they had all the pieces in the air about to be assembled. Kind of like in the LEGO video games. Also, some of the pieces that were used, like these gear pieces, I don't see in today's sets. Final thing that I found cool was this catalog that actually expanded into this poster-esque looking thing. I found it really cool, so I hung it up. Now sadly, I don't have any catalogs from the 80s or 90s, so here are some pictures of them. Obviously in the 80s it was heavily focused on space since it was their biggest theme, but there were still other themes like Fabuland, which let's just say was definitely interesting. But in the 90s, it was more focused on the new themes like pirates and castle. And let's not forget in 1999 when the Star Wars sets came out.
LEGO and Star Wars join forces for the first time, so you can build authentic LEGO X-Wings and Y-Wings. Only you can help Luke and the Rebels defeat Darth Vader and his TIE Fighter.
But now, we're in the present, the 2000s. This era of LEGO had a lot more themes like Bionicles, SpongeBob, and at least they actually had DC sets. I'm sorry, DC fans. I know we only get one a year now. But there were also some awful themes like Galador and Jack Stone. Yikes. But now we're in the 2010s, and this is when my collection of catalogs comes in. Let's just say I have a lot of catalogs. This era of LEGO had some of their biggest themes that are still going today, like Ninjago, of course Star Wars, and Marvel superheroes. There was also Chima, which I personally like. Okay, guys, stop booing, please. But these catalogs compared to the ones in the 70s are much more colorful. They also had mini games and comic strips inside, which I always found neat. And when I was going through my newest one, I realized it also had a poster. So I ripped it out and put it next to the old vintage one, which I think having them both next to each other is a great representation of LEGO's history. Now I promise I didn't plan this part, but when I took out the poster from the catalog, it revealed a game board. But it wasn't just any game board, it was one representing the 90 years of LEGO history. Well, I thought that was so cool. It's kind of a full circle moment. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and let's get to the outro. Well, anyway, guys, if you like this video, you guys can go check out my Cobra Kai video. That one's doing amazing, and I think it is a really fun video. So go check that out. But if you have any video ideas, you can say it in the comments, of course. And remember, have a great day, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out. Bye.